was I talking about you? Oh my gosh, I'm such a brat. Thank you for coming on to watch today. Today, I've got 4 comics coming at you. I've been mega posting about it. I'm so excited every time I get an interview. This is Comic Spot. Welcome. Comic Spot was invented so that this crazy Meshuggah geriatric old lady, I got to say things 2 different ways so the young people get it. This is created so this little old lady who has no life that was in the army, I'm a veteran, so I can vet out veterans of comedy and you can get to know them one by one by one, not like Noah's Ark. That was 2 by 2, in case you didn't know that. Okay, back to the script. So today on Comic Spot, my very first interview of the day, I'm so tickled to get to know him. We were talking off screen, and this guy's funny as PH. He's a nice guy. He's got a lot of things on his wall behind him, so he's beating me. I only have one thing on my wall. Then I'm here to introduce you to Ryan Weiss. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
In all my years of show business, you're the first one to do it right the first time. That was
Hot
creepy.
damn. People have go learn German if you're going to be a host.
I know.
There's no excuse, Ryan. Ryan, I'm going to read you what he told me is his intro. And I say that because in comedy, if somebody gives me words and I say their words without giving them credit, it makes me a hack. So even though it's not a joke, I feel I'm an old lady, just go with it. I feel obligated to let you know these are his words, not mine. So follow the rules in comedy and you won't have to talk to me later. Anyway, before I get you angry, let's go into his intro. Ryan Weiss is a stand-up comedian, host, and event planner live from the land, aka Cleveland, Ohio. His COVID schedule includes 2 podcasts and a virtual comedy show weekly in between crying and bacon. We have to find out about the bacon. I get the crying. Deep Space is a place for conversations that matter, politic, aliens, and conspiracy. We talk it all. Random Tandem Live, Saturday, 3 comedians and their special friends talk anime, video, games, pop culture, and whatever the hell else is random tandem. I don't think he means bicycles. And every Friday, join us for the Stay at Hike Show live comedy from our couch to yours. Geez Louise, why didn't I practice this before I said it? Anyway, I would like to introduce you now to the man of the hour, the amazingly hardworking, funny, sweet, kind, nice guy I just actually met because of the pandemic on Zoom, Ryan Weiss. Woo! Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
I was trying to share this while she was doing my intro. It was great.
What you drinking, Ryan?
Bang energy drink. It brings me my liquid happiness. It's better than coffee. So you got an actual energy drink for this.
Wow, Bang, huh? We don't have any Bang out here in Vegas. Do you get a lot of bang for your buck?
Now, see, Linda, I forgot to ask a really important question. Am I allowed to make dirty jokes? Because you just said, okay, you don't get banged in Vegas. I thought that was what Vegas was for. You ruined Vegas for me, Linda.
The thing is I got here and then the shutdown happened and now there's no sin in Vegas. And I'm like, how the heck am I supposed to be a geriatric in Vegas if there's no sin?
They took sin out of Vegas? I didn't think that was possible.
I heard a tweaker last night. You know what a tweaker is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a tweaker out there last night singing, "Where have all the hookers gone?" And I was like, dude, you need some more Prozac.
When I was a kid, we went on a Vegas bus tour, me and my mother, and I'll never forget that. Like when we got to the strip, I'm walking around and they're handing out hookers playing cards, like baseball cards for hookers with stats and shit. And it was like Pokemon for me. I was trying to collect them all. You have never seen a beating like the beating my mother gave me when we got back to that hotel room. She was like, "What is
Oh.
wrong with you?"
Did she knock the heterosexual out of you?
Yes.
The things our parents did to us, if we could write that all out, oh my gosh. You know,
Uh,
like boomers were messed up in a totally different way than Gen X and Gen X, you know, like that would be a whole bit, a whole show.
I feel like we could 100% do a show on just the different scarrings to the different generations. Like I feel like I would pay to watch that. I would, especially if there was like slides and like video presentations, like I had to explain one of my friends, all my friends are older right now, and Greg, one of my buddies and one of my partners here, he was talking about having to get a switch in front of my kid, and my daughter was like, "What's a switch?" I was like, "Well, you know,
Yeah.
when we were kids, our parents would send us outside to go get a long read, right? A long one. And then they would beat you with that. And if you tried to get like a short one or a little one, they would send you back. And Greg was talking about sometimes he had to go back 4 or 5 times because he kept trying to get a little one.
Did you ever, like, how many siblings did you have growing up?
So let's see here. I've got 3 brothers and a sister. 2 brothers by marriage. It's all weird, but yeah,
Yeah.
I have 3 siblings. It's fun,
Okay.
and I'm the
Because,
youngest, of course.
okay. So that's why you're so nice. So I'm not the youngest, I'm the middle. But because it was a girl, a boy, and me, and he was my twin, he acted like he was the older of me. So I was, in essence, treated like the younger. So that's why I'm so nice, like you.
Well, I think it's good to be the youngest and get beat up a little bit because it makes you be nicer to people, right? Like,
Yes.
but see, my mother was a little bit different than most. Raise your hand if you ever got beat for something someone else did.
Holy crap almighty. Holy crap. I had
That's
a
good.
nickel.
See, my mom was a champion at starring us. I'm trying to share it to one more place.
No problem. Take your time. People love to just listen to what we're talking about, you know?
So my mother would beat us, and I'll never forget. She beat me one time and called me the wrong name the whole time. And if you really want to mess your kids up, just start hitting them and calling them the wrong name. So I have, like I said, 3 siblings. Wait, hold on, let me count. 4 siblings, and she was calling me Randy, and I don't have a sibling named Randy. So I'm like, there's a fifth one. What's going on? Like I didn't know there was another. So.
I remember one time somebody of us three did something wrong, and none of us would fess up to it. So we all got beat.
See, that's the thing that I've heard a lot about, like the generation, the boomers, the generation after. I forget which one it is, but there were so many kids that they would just beat you all collectively.
Yeah.
You would just get collective whoopings, and they didn't care who did it. And I'm like, you know what?
Line us up like dominoes.
Oh my God, that's great. I didn't know we were going to talk child abuse on my first.
How many times are you dropped on your head?
A few, a few, a few. So I have a daughter, and it was weird because like her head, we had to like move her because she kept like sleeping on one side. So like I like to pet her on the head now, but really I'm just checking to see if my work was good. Like I'm trying to make sure that like the head roll worked out a little bit.
Totally. Well, tell me, I know you're trying to share, so I'm going to, don't rush. Take your time because sharing is caring. So you're in Cleveland. Were you born and raised in Cleveland, Ryan Weiss?
Yeah, born and raised in Cleveland. Been here my whole life. Kind of like it here for some reason, not sure why.
So when the
Um,
show Hot in Cleveland came out, were you able to capitalize on that in any
no,
way?
no, no. I grew up in Old Brooklyn, which is kind of fun. So this is Drew Carey's neighborhood, and so the bars are over there. I've been told that I look like a fat Drew Carey, which I don't know if that's like a compliment or an insult.
It's a
I don't know how to
compliment.
Well, but they had to put the word fat in there, right? Like, so not skinny Drew Carey, not Drew now, but fat Drew Carey. So,
Do you
um,
remember who Kimora Lee Simmons was?
no, help me out.
She's like a married to somebody, and she was like in Hollywood married to somebody, and she had a company called Baby Fat,
Ooh,
PHAT, like the urban fat. You
yeah,
say
yeah.
urban instead of black because we're politically correct, but it's the same thing. So Baby Fat was a clothing company, and everybody that was anybody, and especially if you had a nice looking tush, you would wear clothes that said Baby Fat, and it would say Baby Fat on your bumpkins.
So I think I saw that like when I when I was growing up. I remember seeing some sweatpants that said baby fat on them. But I was distracted by the tush. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't.
Totally. You would not want to wear those if you were like the kind that always went to a buffet and never left. They were for like that. Only the sexiest of the sexiest wore those. Yeah.
I don't know.
Total opposite of bum equipment.
See, I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's just I go to too many WalMarts, but Ohio really does have a farm bred community that likes to show up at Walmart, and they love to wear clothes that they shouldn't wear. Like I've seen the sweatpants and thong mixture way too much on people that are 500 or 600 pounds. And see, like I'm single and I only have a couple rules. Like the biggest rule for me is my belly can't be bigger than yours. Okay, like it's not gonna work.
Oh my gosh. So you're single. Are you on any of the dating sites?
We actually, this is one of my favorite jokes. I'm on all of them. It's great. I use pictures from me on stage because women claim that they want to have someone who's funny. And I'm on every dating site known to man. I'm on dating sites that I shouldn't be on. Like
J date?
I'm J date. I'm a proud card carrying member of Black.com. Um, they don't really, they don't check that well, I guess. Like I didn't use someone else's picture. I just made it through with this. I think I think the problem is maybe they run credit scores. I think that might be.
You're the Rachel Dolezal of black dating, male black dating.
Oh my God.
So talk to me about growing up and finding out you're funny in Cleveland in Drew Carey's neighborhood and looking like him.
So for me, I mean, I like I said, I watched the interview that you did with Help Me Out Again, Mario. And
Mario and Keith Robinson.
yeah, so for me, being the youngest of the kids, I would tell jokes to get out of trouble around the house. I'd make my brother laugh every time he wanted to beat me up, and sometimes I would avoid the beating. But like it really started like when we would go out. I think one of the reasons I can't date is I don't know what they call it, like a showboat. What do you have it like? If we go out to dinner, I'm 100% gonna try to make the waiters laugh the whole time. If we're if we're shopping at Walmart and there's a line of more than 5 people, I'm turning around and I'm using the line. Like it's just there's something wrong with me, and I have no filter. I will. My grandmother was Irish, um, and so we got like the dirty humor and the drinking. So like I'll tell. I've done shows where I told dick jokes in front of my grandmother. Like for my 30th birthday, they roasted me. My crew roasted me, and my dad and my grandma were laughing at all the parenthood and the failure jokes. The best part of you ran down your father's leg, and my dad is laughing his butt off. No.
You guys are sick. I love it. So, what was it like growing up? Did you start doing comedy because people were bullying you, or you wanted to get the chicks, or you just wanted attention, or did you start being funny later in life? I want to know your story.
Well, so I've been funny looking the whole time. Just bad genes. I'm I'm done sharing, Linda. I'm done now. I'm gonna focus on. I've actually reopened the window so I can see you laughing. um, so, uh, and like I said, it started like I guess as a coping mechanism, right? Like just telling jokes and being the wisecracker in school and all that stuff.
It's just the
And
way you are.
yeah, I'm just
And no filter. That makes it so cool. I mean, nobody knows what's going to come out of your mouth next, not even you.
No, I think I really love performing because I'm like I have an act that I go to, like I have jokes that I go to, but I've told the same jokes 100 different ways, and every time I'm doing it, it's always like that black.com bit. That's an actual one, and every time I do it, I just change it up somehow, or I throw something that happened in there. So it's
Oh,
fun.
that's so cool. It'd be so fun to hear you a few times. There's, and then like I would be so surprised that you ended it a different way. I think that's marvelous that you do that.
Well, it's mainly because I can't remember my own jokes. That's the problem. I get up there and I'm like, I wrote this and I can't remember it. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of AD,
People ADD,
yeah, there's
ADH.
a lot of ADD up there, you know. Oh, look.
Yeah. And I was bad at math, and that's ADD too sometimes. So any which way you slice it, ADD and me don't get along. Hey, so do you have jokes that you've done that you're like, the joke never works, but you refuse to give the joke up?
So there's one I do like to mess with people, and I don't
Me
know if I'm
too.
going to tell this on your show or not, but I have a really dirty joke that I like to end with.
Yeah.
Just because like I get you on your high, you're excited, you're lighting the show, and then I just say something really nasty and then I get off stage. And it's just good for me. It makes me feel good. So
That's incredible. That's incredible. So you've been in comedy how long? 10 years?
I'm
12?
look uh I think 8 now, maybe,
Wow.
but I've only been funny for 3. So
So I get that. That 5 year
mhm.
mark, all of a sudden you actually become funny.
Is it the 5-year mark? Because I don't know. I feel like I'm just hitting my stride now. Like I didn't want to answer that question. Like
Yeah,
I
I
just
get it.
I just started last month. I promise you.
Well, like I started comedy when I was 63 years old, 6 years ago. And so, like I started with a brain injury. And so for the first 5.5 years, I was using notes. I was making jokes about, like, oh, uh, I have to use notes because of this. Things fall out of my head. And the weird thing is, if enough stuff falls out of your head, all of a sudden, the doctors don't want you to carry a gun. I get it. But every 4 years, they'll let me go pick a president. So what's with that? And then people are like looking at you like, what the hell is she on stage for? And it's hard to get people to laugh when when they hear that you have cognition or memory. And I decided, screw it. I got a whole lot. I got bags and bags of brain injury jokes, and it's like, screw it. Nope, not doing them. You're gonna have to beg me for a brain injury joke.
Well, I feel like that's like I have bags and bags of fat jokes, but I don't like doing them for the same reason. Like you don't want that to be your thing.
No,
Uh,
exactly.
I'm more than my brain injury, and you're
Thank
more than your brain injury, and I'm more than my third titty. Um, that was a bad
Zach.
one. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear the ending, but I knew it was funny, so I laughed. What did you say at the end?
I said I'm more than my third titty.
Oh, that's so cool. I have one of those. I say, you know, what was the joke? It's so weird, like the hip. Do you know what a white hipster is? These hipsters, they tell me that I'm good looking for. I like black guys because they tell me that I look good mama. They don't put a condition on it like the white hipsters. Those white hipsters, man, they'll tell me, you look good, you look amazeballs. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? Google it? I'm not gonna Google amazeballs. No telling what will come up. And besides, they check your hard drive after you kill your third husband.
that's that's great.
I
That's
love I love messing with people. Like, I don't care what you think I am. That's that's half the fun.
so
You
Linda.
don't know.
I think the funnest thing is that this is like a consensus now. Like every comedian I've spoke to, we all agree that if we die, you have to clear our hard drives out. Like you have to delete my phone, delete my computer, wipe the IP address, and then set it on fire. Just burn everything. Like there's
I was on a show with my coach. She has a show once a week, and I was on it. And at the end, she asked everybody a question. And sometimes she wants you to be funny, and sometimes she just wants you to be real. And I don't get clues very easily. And so she asked something, and she wanted us to be funny. And I wasn't in a funny. Have you ever not been in a funny mood?
yes, right
So
before this interview.
good, we're out of that one then. So she's like, Linda, if your place caught on fire, what one thing would you take with you? Right. And I had to think, and I didn't feel funny. And I said, well, I put a lot of shit in my computer and I can't seem to get any of it out. So fuck the computer. I'm taking all these pieces of paper that I use to type the shit in the computer. Fuck the computer. Let it burn. And she didn't think it was funny. I still think it's funny.
I'll never forget. I asked that on stage one day. It was great. So it was a follow up to an earlier joke about kids and stuff. And I'm like, so all right. So if your house is on fire and you have to grab one thing to save from the fire, what are you going to get? And people say things like phones and TVs and computers. And I let it
Vibrator.
vibrator, a sex doll. I let him go for a bit, and then I look them in their sweet little faces, and I was like, "Didn't you say you had kids?"
I love that. I love that. There's certain things that we do that I think are so cool, and like we put so much energy into it because we just love just saying it so much. And
Yeah.
there's other pieces of our material that like, all right, I'll get through this joke to get to the next one, but like we all
Yeah.
have like we have favorite children. If you have kids, you always have that favorite child.
You're not
Same with
supposed to
their
say it
jokes.
out. You're not supposed to say it out loud. Like I'm not talking about that. That's a no-go. Okay. You can't claim them out loud who's the best. But yeah, that leads to what you and Mario were talking about that I wanted to bring up is you guys were talking about how hold on. Like the best I'm a storyteller. So like the best jokes are things that happen to me. And we had a writing group where I sat down with a magician. And I feel like comics, like a lot of times we want to write, we want to write, we want to write, we want new. But the magician really hit me. His name's Dave, and he runs Lake Erie Illusions. He was like, think about this: when you go see David Copperfield, you know what trick David Copperfield's going to do. If you
Yeah.
go see Eddie Griffin, you know what jokes he's gonna do. If you like when you go see a pro, you know what they're gonna say and you still want to see it. He's like,
Yes.
so why do comedians keep switching up their acts all the time? And I was like,
Oh my gosh, this is the a conversation I had 20 minutes before you got on same with Jeffrey Peterson here in Vegas. He was like, why he got somebody locally thought that he's just repeating the same thing over and over. And it's like, that's what you do when you get to that level.
mm-hmm. It's an act. They're paying you for your act. Like it's weird. But then like the rookies, they all want to write new stuff and do new things. And every time you put them on stage, you don't know what you're gonna get because they're writing. And I'm like, dude, do the dick joke. Do the joke about your mom. That's why I hired you.
Thank
Do the
you.
one. Oh,
When
you
I,
have a
I
you
know what you're going to say.
I'm not gonna say it. I'll behave.
Oh my gosh. So what's your favorite joke that you've ever come up with?
Jokes are
That
like
you
my
don't mind if
children.
somebody on here steals? You know how they are.
I'm over that. That's that's the other thing they're always afraid of. Like, I don't want to put things out online because what if someone steals my material? You write more, or you do it better because it's your joke. They
Thank
can't.
you.
You can't do my joke better than. So I got one. I can't kind of do it now. Hold on.
Yeah.
I have to bring this down. So, but like, I'm kind of a large guy, as you can see, and I lost a lot of weight. I gained it all back. But when you lose a lot of weight and you're a man, you don't get compliments. Like you get dumb questions. Like, no one's like, oh, you look so good. They're like, wow, you lost a lot of weight. How'd you do it? Or, wow, you look so skinny. What made you decide to lose the weight? Or if you get a compliment, it's really shitty, like, wow, 50 pounds. We can really see it in your face.
That's
So,
so
but
true.
I like to go with with that. Like the reason I lost the weight is you can only wake up from so many sex dreams hold, holding your own titty, right? Like there's a hand to tit ratio that I've blown. So I hope you're not hope this channel's never getting monetized. I'm just letting you know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. One of these days, my ship's going to come in and it's going to be monetized. My
That's
luck,
great.
I'll be at the airport. But anyway, as I was saying, okay, so let's go into your comedy career. When was the first time you got on stage and how freaking scared were you the first time?
So I don't know if you guys have them out there, but in Cleveland and Chicago, we have this Dave Swenson runs
Wait,
right.
wait a minute. Hold the phone.
Okay.
Dave Schwensen?
Yes. Yes, that's the one.
Love you, Dave.
Love you too, Dave.
Yeah.
Uh, Dave's great. Dave lives up here, and he's given me some advice and some things like that for when I was starting to put together theater shows. But so I took his class, and I'm poor, right? So the class cost $200, and that was like I'd always said I wanted to do comedy, but that was the thing. I was like, if I put money down on this, you best believe I'm going and I'm going to do the show. So it was a packed house at the Improv. Um, and I get up on stage and I was so nervous that like when I moved the mic stand out of the way, I hit the brick wall behind me really hard and put a dent in it. And
God.
if you watch the video, I'm like, oh, broke the wall. It's so great. So that's what I remember. I remember that, and I remember my father again laughing really loud at the jokes that he shouldn't laugh at. That was
Oh my gosh, that's great. So, what did you learn in the comedy class that you paid $200, 200 hard-earned dollars for? What did you learn that you'll never forget? What one thing stuck out in your mind?
you're about to end my friendship with Dave.
Maybe we will get monetized after all.
I made some good friends. Some are still in comedy, some aren't. For me, it was all like the comfort. Like Dave just makes it really comfortable for you to go on your first show in front of a large crowd. Like you rehearse a couple times beforehand, which I feel like the problem is most comics don't rehearse before shows. Like they don't go to open mics and like they'll try a joke before the show, but they won't like put the set together and try that
Wow.
somewhere else. Um,
Yeah.
and that was it. So like I just learned to be comfortable and relax and put together an actual set for a show. Don't just show up with 5 your mom jokes and think you're going to be
Yes.
good. So
So, how did the set go at your graduation show at the Improv?
so they tell me that there's a meter in the back that they can figure out who made the people laugh the hardest, and they said that I
Did
was
you ever see this meter?
no, I don't believe it. I don't believe anything a booker tells me. I don't I put it in writing, then I believe you. So but then I said I did 6 seconds to the host, so that was good. So somebody else was funnier than me, but yeah, whatever. I had a blast.
Yes. So, where has your comedy career taken you since then? And what are you up to now? All those places you sent me that I don't understand because I'm old.
Stop saying you're old. You're not. I told
Surprise! You got to They got to take me at face value. So I think the cat's out of the bag.
See, we're in a weird demographic right now where like everyone's retiring and then like now you're all doing your hobbies. Like, but so like they say like the Colonel from KFC was like 70 when he made his first million. So you're never old until you're dead. Then you're old. That's my
They Vegas has a sports book section just for when am I going to kick the bucket.
What are the odds?
So
What are the odds? How do I get it on the pool? So so Cleveland has a pretty thriving scene. And I've been told that I'm like part of it, I guess. I don't know.
yes, I believe it.
So, but I mean, my goal, I've actually partnered with Chris Kettler. He's the one that told me about you and told you to come on here. And we both have this growing Cleveland. So like we used to be the sixth largest city in the nation. Like we used to be a big deal. And I don't know what happened. I think it was drugs or that time we set our river on fire. I'm not sure which one. Um, but so like our goal is, there's really only two clubs here. You've got the Improv and you've got, Hilarities, and they're both great clubs, but they can't hire everybody. There's only two clubs. So we're hashtag grow Cleveland. We're trying to grow our online media and our presence, and we want Chris is opening up more clubs. We want to make it so that entertainers can make a living in Cleveland and not have to move away. That's what we're all about.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I want
So
to help promote all of your flyers that I didn't understand.
I'm sorry. So every Wednesday we have Deep Space. It's a podcast on Facebook and Podbean. We do deep political talks. We talk about controversies. We talk about conspiracies. We talk politics. We talk about the news. We did police and Black Lives Matter and all that stuff, and we've done aliens and zombies. So that's every Wednesday at 7. Every Friday we have the Stay at Home show. So the Stay at Home show is a live Facebook show with comedians. We get guys from New York, Pittsburgh, all over the place. 5-10 minutes, go online. We have a small crowd that's virtual, so you can hear them laughing at you. And then it goes out and people watch and comment and it gets up to shenanigans. And then every Saturday we have Random Tandem. So I
What's
don't know if you could,
that?
I'm a nerd. Um, I don't know if you could tell. I think the glasses. So, but it's more like a place. We get 4 or 5 comedians together. A couple friends of mine, Rob Coleman, Parker Owens, Mr. Old Guy, aka Greg, and we just talk about comic books, video games, whatever. And we just have a good time on Saturday. We relax, have a beer, that stuff. So that's it right now. You can catch me at Eargasm Comedy everywhere.
What is Eargasm Comedy? Why is it called that? And what's the deal behind it? I mean, I've had an eargasm. Don't get me wrong. I got a G spot in there, this side. But why did you come up with that name and how? That's a really cool name.
So when I first started, there was this great room locally that was called Chuckle Fuck. And everybody loved it because it was so dirty. So I just leaned into my dirtiness. Shout out to Ramon Rivas, by the way. And I was like, what's nasty, but like sums it up. And I'm like, well, comedy for me is all about when you're on stage, you make people feel better for a little bit. So let's give them an eargasm, instead of an orgasm, I'm giving them an eargasm. So that's it. That's the parent company I've been running with for 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. And we do live shows. We do theater shows, which I don't know what to call them, but like we go sell out a theater and, sell tickets and hustle. And then we do conventions and corporate bookings and
What?
yeah.
Wow. So there's so much more to you than those 3 flyers you sent me that I didn't understand.
Well, so
Because I'm old.
this is my flyer wall. That's what I look back to figure out how old. So this big one, this was the first show I ever put on, and you can't even tell, but I was so excited that I kept it because like right down there it says my name really small. Like
Wow.
it just says, and also Ryan Weiss. And I was like, yes, I'm an and also. Yeah.
Oh my God. So that was Coin Fest. Is that what
Coin.
that's
This
what
is
did
just
it?
it was ladies' night. Ladies' night and comedy night. We gave away like $50 of booze to whoever dressed the skankiest. And we told jokes. So
So you're doing a whole heck of a lot.
I try.
show and a podcast and something else. Show and a podcast. I know you're doing three things that were three flyers,
Yep.
and then you're doing a whole eargasm full of litany of stuff you're doing.
Yep. So like
Holy
right now
crap.
we're just online, but when this all ends, we'll be back to booking shows again. So
Yes.
just tolling around online here with Linda, having fun. Hi,
That's so
internets.
cool. I should get off the phone and get to my next interview. But heck, I'm gonna miss you. You were so fun. How in the heck you're so fun to banter with? I didn't even want to get to your life story. I wanted to just bantering with you. You're hilarious.
I love that you had to remind me to plug at the end. Like everyone was like, don't forget to plug. Don't forget to plug. And then I'm like, I'm not gonna forget. I'm a professional. And then we just had fun. So,
Yes.
but
Do you
I
want
do,
to tell about, are you hurting for money and want to do a Cash App or a Venmo?
I am, but more importantly, I want to just let the world know that Cleveland does have a lot of great comedy companies. So you can check us out. Obviously, it's Eargasm Comedy everywhere, but also please, I mean, go to my competitors, Accidental Comedy. They've been out of Cleveland longer than me. You got Funny Noise Productions. Chris Kettler runs that. We've got the Youngstown Comedy Syndicate. We've got Cleveland Comedy Awards. So all these guys are on live, and we're all just trying to, like I said, grow the scene and make some money. Um, I
Dave
love it.
Schwensen.
Dave Swenson is retiring in Cleveland. He's still here. Dave, you should probably move to Florida.
Vegas. Tell him to
Vegas.
move to Vegas and marry me.
He's got a wife, Linda. He's got a wife.
I don't know if he goes through Salt Lake City, it might be okay.
So yeah, if they want to go to the Cash App, it's I think it's Ryan Weiss 117. Come check out our shows. We'll be live Wednesday on Facebook. Ryan Weiss, Deep Space, Eargasm Comedy. Come find us. And Linda, I would love to have you on one of my shows.
Yay!
You should come play with us. I think that would
impressed you enough. Woo! I'm a winner. Winner! Chicken dinner. I want to do that. Invite me. Yes.
When we get off of this, I'll figure out, because you said you don't like to do politics, so maybe we'll bring you on the fun one on Saturday. I don't like it either. You can only talk about Trump for so long before you start to lose your soul a little bit, you know? A little takes it. Just
I remember the good old days when Trump was a verb. Oh my God.
Can we just end on that? Let's just end on that.
Screw it. Thank you so much, Ryan Weiss. Get out and support him.
Thank you. Have a good day, Linda.
Love you lots.
Everybody's talking at the comic spot. The comic spot.